The tourism business I chose to interview was Carball Jewelers in my hometown of Auburn, Indiana. This jewelry store is located at East 7th Street, which is downtown on the Auburn Square. I interviewed the owner and close family friend, Mike Littlejohn, in order to gain some insight into the tourism industry and into the business in general. Littlejohn functions as the store owner as well as the main jeweler technician, where he repairs and creates jewelry. He developed such a keen interest in this store and the jewelry industry in general as he dated the previous store owner's daughter while he was in high school around 1975. During this time, he became skilled in many jewelry trades and developed a passion for becoming a business owner. I am interested in this business myself because I am passionate about the Downtown Auburn Business Association, which seeks to bring customers to the heart of Auburn, Indiana. Mike Littlejohn is the president of this association, along with his job as a jeweler and business owner. The history of Carball Jewelers dates back to 1901 when the store was opened by Edward Little in Auburn, Indiana. Charles Carball began working with Little until Little's death in 1955. In between this time, the store was moved to its present location. Carball then changed the name of the store to Carball Jewelers in 1960 and became the sole owner of the store. The store was then taken over by Charles Carball's son, Robert, in 1962 until his retirement in 1997. Then, 17-year employee Mike Littlejohn then purchased the store and remains the current owner today. The specific target population of the store is middle to upper class adults. Carball Jewelers targets this specific population because, statistically, adults have more to spend recreationally than teenagers, and because adults are responsible enough to be able to take care of and handle fine jewelry. The revenue sources of Carball Jewelers comes primarily from their sales on jewelry. Additional revenue comes from jewelry repair and creation done by Mike Littlejohn himself. Carball Jewelers staff is very small as the whole business is created from jewelry and 3 employees, which includes Mike Littlejohn. Besides Littlejohn, the 2 other employees primarily work as sales representatives. From the Carball to Littlejohn, these owners have had no educational jewelry experiences, but learned their trade from an unstructured apprenticeship through Carball Jewelers, as all eventual owners started off as employees. Carball Jewelers does not have excessive marketing, but keeps it minimal with radio advertisements, newspaper ads, and social media outreach. The location of the store and Littlejohn's extensive network serves him very well as natural marketing that he doesn't have to pay for. He doesn't currently have any marketing plans in the making. I didn't observe any special observations besides how dedicated Littlejohn is to preserving the history of the store. This may be because Auburn is big on preserving its history and garners its fame from the Auburn car plant. I learned tons from this interview. Pretty much everything I gathered here was new information to me, especially the history of the store and how Littlejohn came to acquire it. Additionally, I learned what it takes to survive as a tourism business in a small town. This interview reminded me of the lecture we had on planning and policy making. During my interview, Mike Littlejohn and I discussed how he monitors his success and plans for updates. As we have learned in class, businesses should use the amount of income generated, the perceived quality by local residents, and the number of returning tourists to determine how successful their business is. I started asking Littlejohn about how he markets, and he gave me some answers, but then gave a full description of how he knows his goals are being accomplished, as well as how he is able to run a successful tourism business in a small town. The interview inspired me for my future career in nonprofit management, as I want to be an executive director someday. A business owner and executive director have similarities as they both essentially run the business or organization, except one is for profit while the other is for a specific cause.